Hello and welcome to this week's What's Hot. It's the end of the quarter, the end of the financial year where portfolios are being reshuffled, ISA allowances considered, and hopefully end of year profits taken. And I've been reliably informed that by the third week of April, the market should have settled down. But is this a typical year? Well, what is typical are the paltry savings rates being offered by some ISA providers. But this year, the market reaction is being shaped and defined by bigger events, the resumption of peace talks in the Ukraine, COVID flare-ups, and individual stock stories. Banks have been making the corporate headlines this week. Before this week, the UK government, the UK taxpayer owned 50.6% of NatWest, the group formerly known as Royal Bank of Scotland. After this week, we will own a mere 48.1% after the UK government sold £1.2 billion worth of shares in the company that it rescued 14 years ago in the financial crisis of 2008. Also in crisis now, though, is Barclays Bank for two very different reasons, which punished the stock. So 575 million shares, or 3% of the bank, were allegedly being sold by Goldman Sachs on behalf of the Qatar Investment Authority. Now, this happened the same week as the bank said it had oversold billions of pounds worth of securities over a period of about a year, and they overshot the limit agreed with the United States regulators. Barclays, the new bad boys of banking. So let's have a look at the share price chart. Here it is over the past 3 months, but to put it into context, here it is over the past 2 years. Much more palatable. Well, Polymetal is making its business slightly more palatable to the UK and to the fickle investor. It's a St. Petersburg-based mining company which has its own successful businesses. It also invests in others it deems as successful too. Now, it's considering splitting its Russian business from the rest of the company in an attempt to insulate its international business from the knock-on effects of Western sanctions. Its stock has fallen 75% since the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. It's also been ejected from the FTSE 100, but investors liked the investor update, which was responding to certain media speculation. And this week, pay attention to the AGM being held by Polymetal Resources, because apparently shareholder distribution and returns is up for discussion. Well, I'm going to end this week's discussion by talking about the Oscars. I used to work in Hollywood. It's brutal there. And what you learn very quickly is you don't bite the hand that feeds you, particularly if you're in the front row attending the Oscars and you are anywhere near a comedian, and you make your appearance public property, then you will be fair game. I know, and I don't have a golden gong to wield around, though one of the names I was called I never really understood. Penguin legs? Take care. See you same time next week.